Oh my God.
Yeah.
Chris Hayes was doing some form of the jigaboo. I don't know what we call that particular dance. Oh, I had my phone in my shot. Damn. I don't know what you call that particular dance. We call it some form of the jigaboo that Chris was doing.
Something like that.
Something of that effect. Anyway, you are tuned into
MSR, baby.
Adam Butler, Paul Spann.
Black man Spann in the building.
Feeling good, feeling great today. It is a wonderful day outside, man.
Yeah.
Man, last weekend was beautiful.
It was.
We had a lot of fun. Shouts to everybody that came through for Wakanda Talk, man.
Yes, it was great.
Wakanda Talk was dope, bro. And I love doing live shows like that. I love coming through and having the supporters, as we call them.
Yeah.
Oh, why is that so dark? Coming
tribe.
through and having the tribe. Thank you, having the tribe come through and really, give that energy,
rock with
doing
us.
the show and rock with us, man. We're gonna talk more about that in a second, man. But before we get into that, the one and only, the beautiful Sleepy Christopher Hayes is in the building. Hey, Chris.
I don't know.
What's
beautiful
good, guys?
Yeah, is beauty the proper way to describe Sleepy Christopher Hayes?
If we were talking about an odd beauty, yes.
Ah, yes, beauty comes in many forms.
Yes.
How you feeling, boy? You good?
It's like a porcupine.
Yeah, or never mind.
Willow's
How are you, Chris?
I am feeling pretty good today.
Yeah.
Well, it was until you guys tried to.
I called you beautiful. I didn't insult you or disrespect you. Yeah. What I
might have insulted the word beauty, but
okay. But see, anyway, you're good.
I'm good.
All right. Clarence is in the building. What's happening, Clarence?
What's up, family? How y'all?
Man, everything is great, bro. How you feeling today?
Man, I am the weather today.
Yeah.
The sun is shining. Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's an automatic, like, dopamine, you know what I mean?
It is.
Bringer outerer.
That's science.
Yeah, bringer outerer.
I don't know if that word is science.
That definitely is not science. I try to pull it from the Paul dictionary of weebleizations or whatever.
Weebleizations. You was on your Nargis shit for real, though.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the sun is shining on this part of the area, and I am just really blessed and enjoying it.
Nice. I love it, man. It is a nice day outside. Shouts to New York and all the upstate, all the up north states.
Man, y'all going through it.
Yeah, they got punished with the snow. We've been just missing. We've been ducking and dodging the snow here in D.C.
Yes.
It's very odd. I've been actually waiting for some snow. I would love to get some snow, but whatever. As long as it doesn't come on a Saturday. No, I want some snow, man. I could use it. See, when it snows, it gives me an excuse to do nothing. It's like a mental thing. Like when I see a bunch of snow outside, and then the Lord and Mother Nature tells you that you literally cannot do anything, then I don't do anything. And I actually have a relaxing day, and I actually get to take,
No, I can dig it. Well, you can pretend that it snows.
No, it don't work like that for me, bro. Stop being selfish. Stop being selfish.
Yeah, because you're being selfish right now.
No, I'm not being selfish.
Snow shuts me in.
Well, it shuts everybody in.
Hey.
What you got to do?
I need to be on everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
What you got to do?
What you got to do? You ain't got nothing to do, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, brother.
You got the bitches.
You know what I'm saying? What you got to do? You won't be doing that, bro. What you gonna do? What you going outside for, Paul? What you need to go outside for?
Just need the ability to do it, whatever it is that I want to do.
I'm just saying.
That's all I need.
You don't be doing
See where I'm going with it?
I see.
Am I there?
You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing but start no trouble, man. You starting trouble, bro. You out here starting trouble, bro. Out here selling drugs.
Oh, man.
Hey, this nigga on belly. This nigga on belly. That's eating the bananas. I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit.
This nigga go outside and enjoy sunshine. I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit.
What is a black boy joy?
You remind me of the
Drop
Boondock
dime on that nigga.
and the rapper playing for the jury, for the bailiff.
Playing for the bailiff. Playing for the bailiff. Yeah, man. Nargis just logged over with us. Anyway, yeah, man, we got a good show for you guys today, man. Talk about a couple of things. It's all fellas today.
Yeah, man.
Shouts to Nargis. Nargis is not with us today. She's out doing her thing, man. But we're gonna continue on to read a book segment first.
Hold you down, Nargis.
We're gonna hold you down. But before that, I do want to talk about Wakanda Talk. Shouts to the folks that came through again. It was a beautiful thing, man. We're going to do a live show every month. Every month is going to be it's going to be dope, man. We really fed off that energy, and we've been looking for a progressive next step for MSR. We've been talking about it. If you follow any of us on this show, you've heard us talk about like the natural next steps with the show. We have other things in the can that we're talking about doing and that we will be doing, other types of events or whatever. But I think that one thing that we really can do to get you guys involved in this show and in the process is doing live shows, doing shows with you guys, joining us, sharing your thoughts, man. Again, everybody that commented during Wakanda Talk last week, we had a really good dialogue about the movie and everything surrounding the movie, man. So really, we want to continue to do those things, man. So we will. We're going to be doing them once a month. We're going to try to do either the top of the month, but it really depends on our schedule and who we can get and what we got going, what kind of plan we have for that particular show. But you can expect a live MSR show that you every month that you could come through, that you could participate in, that you can come hang out, meet the team, mingle with people,
have some food, some drinks,
politic. And build, baby. And build out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying, with the tribe, man. We love hanging out with the tribe. So, again, shout out to everybody that came through.
Listen, man. Can I say a special shout out to the people who made the food?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
That food was great.
That's awesome.
I shout out the Span family.
Hey, shout out to my sister, man. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, I really thought a joke was coming. I really did.
Nah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
No. I really appreciate it. But seriously, thank you. Big shout out to my sister. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. Big shout out to your sister, really. Seriously. But that was the most serious I've ever seen
him on the show.
Sleepy
Period.
Chris in this show. Chris was like deadly. Said, no, seriously, I enjoyed the food.
I really enjoyed the food.
Why are you guys cracking jokes?
I thought there was a punchline coming.
I thought the food was excellent, and I seriously enjoyed it.
Right.
Like, why are you
astute point, clear, concise, and to the point?
Why are you guys?
The content didn't matter. The participation didn't matter. It was the food. This
is all about food.
No. I enjoyed the food.
It's all about the food. Hey, listen, man. Some things are important. But shout out to everybody that came through, man, because y'all were dropping some serious jewels in there, man.
Yeah, man.
Like some serious jewels. That's what makes doing the live show so great. Not only do we get to just interact, but we get to learn a few things too, man, because y'all were definitely doing a thing in there. So we greatly appreciate that, and we look forward to doing that multiple times over, and bringing good food for Chris.
Yeah, and we clowning, but the food was really good, and that was a big part of what we want to do. We want our events to feel like comfortable. You know what I mean? We want you to feel like you're here because we are family and we are friends. And we always say this, that MSR, Mindstream, whatever, is the voice of the people. We've been saying that since 10 years ago. Voice of the people, and that the show is nothing without you. It's a community thing. You know what I mean? The conversations that we have, the topics that we come up with are really based on what the community is talking about and what the audience cares about. You know what I mean? And sometimes we have to think, be forward thinking and spark conversation. But really, what we really want to do is be involved with what you guys got going on, man. It's barbershop talk, whatever you want to call it. So, the ultimate way the greatest way to do that is to have you all come through and be part of it, man. I mean, that's why we do it. We do it. I mean, we have our own pursuits and career goals and such, but we really do this for y'all. It's the reason why we kept this thing going for 10 years. It's for y'all. It's for y'all. We ain't doing y'all no favors. We ain't acting. I'm not trying to sit there and say, we doing y'all a favor, but keeping this thing going. But you all motivate us to keep this thing going. And I'm telling you, we have the most fun when you all are in the room. It feels great. Yeah. It feels really, really great when you all are in the room with us. So we want to find a way to do that. And look, that podcast is out already. That podcast is up.
Man, it was awesome.
Check it out. You know what I mean? And you probably heard in the intro that we did that I said, like, look, man, we want to be able to do this and have it grow. And the only way it will grow will be because of you guys, right? So, hey, if you in the DC area, come through to the MSR Live Talk. You know what I mean? If you outside of the area and you feel like making a little bit of a drive, trust me, we will make it worth it for you guys, man. Come down, come fool with us, man, and then we will get to the point where we can come to you. You know what I mean? We could do MSR Live Talk in New York, in Boston, in Atlanta, in Miami. Why not?
Let's
LA.
Go. Yeah, come on, meet us.
Why not? The UK. Like, why not? Like, why not, man? I think we can really get that to that point, man. So, get this to that point is what I'm trying to say.
You got it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
We was with you,
And man, I like to correct myself and
you do
pronunciate. Like to pronunciate.
That's another great
there you go.
Pronunciate.
All of that.
Yeah, man. So again, man, thank you all for coming through to Wakanda Talk. That was a beautiful thing. And again, we're going to be doing way more, much more with our live show format. All right, let's get into the meat of this show, man. Pause.
Hey,
Let's get hey, look, it's all fellas in the studio.
Relax.
Right.
That's not the proper segue.
It's all fellas. It's all
mature.
it's all fellas in the studio today. So we got to be careful. With, because rappers, guys immature. You know what I'm saying? Over here.
Especially when Chris has a pocket of Vaseline.
Oh
man.
Okay. Anyway,
All right.
let's get into the heart of this show.
Here we go. There we go.
Because we have a lot to get into. The first segment we want to get into is what's on your mind, Clarence? What you got going on?
Oh man, this week has been I feel like this week was very long week. But hey,
we're not gonna do that.
No.
No, we're not gonna do that.
That was great. Thanks. Netflix. Shout out to Netflix, man. Revolutionizing the way we, are taking media and the way we're seeing imagery, the way we are, exposed to other cultures and other parts of the world. In art within itself, President Obama, they just announced that he's going to start producing content for a lot of the big issues during his administration. I think that's amazing. I'm really looking forward to that. But man, I came across this documentary that came out last year called Dope. And it basically goes into the war on drugs globally, just the whole epidemic. And episode 2 was near and dear to me because it talked about Baltimore City and the surrounding areas and the opioid crisis.
Right.
Before I go any further, I wish I didn't have to do any qualifiers, but anyone that suffers from any type of substance abuse issue, I can only imagine how difficult it is on your family as well as the person, right? So I don't want to get that out of context when we get into this. But the show, basically, imagery, if you turned the volume off, you saw black men terrorizing white people. You saw black men with bandanas on their face,
right,
serving feeble, vulnerable white people, and that imagery bothered the shit out of me. Because it does not give enough context, and of course, I caveat that with if you muted it, if you take the volume off of it. But it goes into how empathetic this whole on both sides of like the abuser and the user. Right. You have the drug dealer who's saying like, yo, like I'm giving the people what they want. It sucks. I don't want to see people dying, but shit, I gotta get this money. And then you're seeing on the other side, people saying that they lost their entire world, their entire lives to this drug that controls them, and that they do things that they never thought they would do in their entire lives.
Right.
And then you see the police. You have the Harford County sheriffs, at the gun range, doing different tactics and showing how they're trying to shut down this quote unquote evil. It gives the idea, the narrative, that black people are predators in all shape, forms, and fashion, right? And that bothers me because representation in media is extremely important. And if people tune into that, not knowing the context, not knowing the true political or whatever issues when it comes down to drugs in this country, you see black men terrorizing white people. There's certain words they use. It just bothered me, man. Like, reputation in all contexts, it matters. Not just, seeing us in Black Panther or seeing, seeing women in A Wrinkle of Time, which came out yesterday, right? And having black artists doing great work, that representation matters as well. But it also, we need to be more responsible and cognizant of how we are framing communities in media. Right, it shows that in Harford County and Anne Arundel County that these, the people who are for the American dream, they fought hard to get all these things, and then you showing these black folks going, oh yeah, we're going to terrorize you and just pump drugs into your system. We're going to fuck up your entire world. No, that's just we aren't predators. right? This is big. What Nino Brown say? This is bigger than Nino Brown, right? I'm not trying to make light of it, but this issue is bigger than just in the individuals, right? The poor people who are selling drugs to other poor people. I mean, it's a really real issue, but when I saw that, it really bothered me a lot, man. And I fought back and forth if I wanted to discuss this on the show today or not, because I didn't want it to come off as me being not empathetic to, to people who are suffering, right? Because, I mean, people go, oh, well, shit, y'all wouldn't do nothing in the 80s. You know what I mean? When the crack epidemic, y'all weren't all these PSAs and all these sons.
That's true. And yeah, you had the, and I'm so sorry.
Please, do that.
You had the, say no to dope campaign and all that, but it was also weaponized as a, war on drugs, right? And it was black people selling, quote unquote, black people selling drugs to other black people. So you had like this ultimate enemy. It wasn't much empathy for the drug addict. It was like, don't be stupid and do drugs, and don't be stupid and sell drugs, or we're going to lock you up forever. And we all know, our audience is hip enough to understand the impacts of the drug war. We understand what happened. Our former president spoke about it a lot. It was actually one of the main things, one of his main platforms for his campaign, for his administration, was the war on drugs, stopping the war on drugs and stopping the prison pipeline. So I like when you bring this up. I'll just say my piece real quick, Pete, because I know you got thoughts on this as well. Like you can't blame black folks for feeling a little hurt by the reaction around the opioid crisis that's going on in America right now. And it just feels like whenever these things impact white people, then it's a national headline. It's a national, we need to jump on this. But in the 80s, through the entire 80s and 70s, through it, whether it be heroin or whether it be crack cocaine,
or meth, whatever. Yeah.
Right. But whatever black folks were using in the inner city, no one cared.
Nope.
No one cared. And when you talk about media and you talk about what Obama's doing and the power of media, how you started this off. By the way, Black Panther just made $1 billion. So that's,
Yeah, clap that up.
Yeah, we can definitely.
$1 billion, by the way, Chris.
Definitely clap that up. Yeah.
Look forward to going to that vegan spot.
Yeah, we should, definitely will be.
We should literally do that. Anyway, we're gonna talk about that later. But I don't want to get too far off the subject. Because when Clarence brings up the power of media and the importance of media, and that's something we talk about
That's the way to bring it in.
often, right? That, it took movies like New Jack City, Boys to Men, Boys in the Hood.
We got you. You good.
Boys in the Hood.
God, that was funny.
I was on the road too.
You
Boys
were.
in the Boys in the Hood, Menace Society. These hood films to help America see, yo, this is what's going on in that community. And you started feeling empathy for the drug dealer a little bit. You started understanding. It took hip hop music, something that people shunned and looked down on. But when you listen to what they were trying to say at that time in particular, what they were trying to say is like, yo, my community is insane, so my music is insane, my attitude is insane. So I feel you, Clarence. Like, I'm with you 100%. Because on one end, you don't want to say, like, yo, at the end of the day, this is a sad story. Right? But you don't like how the picture is being painted that the drug dealer is the villain and the drug addict is the the victim. Where actually they're both victims. So, like, you talk about Baltimore and you naturally have to bring up the show because you talk about media and what the entire show was about, which was The Wire, which what they were trying to say on that show was that this story is about Baltimore and that everybody's a victim of it. Yeah. The most slept on season, the PM coming right to you after this. The most slept on season of The Wire, the one no one likes, the one no one talks about it because it had white people in it, was the one about the ports. But this goes exactly what you talk about when those dudes started selling drugs because they didn't have any work and they were losing money. And they showed the white drug dealer and the white drug addict. They had a whole scene with the white boy. He was like, look, man, you white. Why you acting like this? But how they even got caught up. So I thought it was beautiful how they showed how far that culture stretched and how big this problem is. And it's not just about a bunch of roughneck black dudes that don't know no better selling drugs to other black people that don't know no better and killing each other. And so who cares about that? It's bigger. So I am going to, I have not seen this show, but I'm going to check it out because I'm with you, Clarence. I can see how there could be conflict on how that is perceived. Of course. And we all, as much as I want to get past much as I want normalcy in media and that like every image of black folk doesn't have to be like this heroic image. I want us to be able to just tell stories. We do have to be cautious of what you're talking about. So that's an excellent point. Go for it.
Well, no. Everything doesn't have to be heroic, but everything doesn't have to be. First off, in media for us, it's been a purposeful thing to where we've been slighted and put in a demeaning light purposefully. Like, I mean, if you go all the way back to Mammy and Sambo, when you go back anyone that has gone to the African American History Museum can literally see, I mean,
imagery,
purposeful. So with this, I mean, of course, because like you were talking about, when these problems are happening to solely black people, it's not a large epidemic. It's not then you take and you have the imagery of blacks, doing certain things to white people. Of course, it's all dangerous. But back to Adam's point, it just shows the importance of something that we're talking about today, and we have been talking about for a while. The importance of media and the importance of art. The importance of shows like Atlanta, the importance of even, the Black Panther movie, and just certain things that allow certain stories and certain things to get out and be told. So I'm definitely going to check that out too. Yeah. And I mean, and we're going to continue to do our fair job at trying to even and balance things out. But I'm really happy about the things that are happening with art right now, because it's very important.
Yeah, man. Real fast, go ahead, Chris.
No, I just want to say it's a little different than I would have expected. Like, if you had just told me, hey, we're going to see you're going to watch this television show about some heroin dealers, I would have expected this to be white people telling the white people. I wouldn't have really expected black people like, hey, all right, this is something we're going to jump in on now too.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a little interesting.
It feels like, and I don't want to judge too much. Encourage you get the last thought on this. I don't want to judge too much because I don't know, like, this could be people that are literally from the Baltimore area. They just want to tell a story about the Baltimore Arundel area, right? Like, if I were telling the story, and I know you probably have answers, but, if I were telling the story, I would tell it from a Washington, D.C. perspective, and it would be, right? But it feels like, because Chris makes a really good point, that if you wanted to talk about the opioid epidemic, which is a big thing, our president can't shut up about it, and there's a lot of code for it's just anyway. If you want to talk about the opioid epidemic, there are plenty of white towns that you can go to show white people selling opioids to other white people. You brought up meth, and I didn't want to get into a side argument, but I was going to say this, like, even with meth, that's always been traditionally a white drug.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, that's why Breaking Bad is so good, because Breaking Bad actually broke stereotypes. I don't even know if they meant to break stereotypes, to be real with you, but Breaking Bad, all through there, you had the cartels and all that, because the cartels run all of that. Right. But you had a white guy selling, like Jesse was a white drug addict / drug dealer. Like, that's what was going on in New Mexico. And it kind of was it was like the opposite of The Wire. Right. Where The Wire showed like what's going on in the inner city.
Like a contrast.
It was the contrast to The Wire. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it was just as good. We can get to that argument, but it was just as important and just as a good show on just the basis of a show as The Wire. You know what I mean?
But
it taught you something. Go
that's
for it,
interesting, because I feel like Breaking Bad, and while I haven't watched all of the episodes, I wonder if it was more perceived as like something that was entertaining versus something that was could be perceived as like
realism.
Whereas the Wire was like, oh shit, that's really Baltimore.
Wire was like a doc, and that's why I was kind of careful with my words. I just didn't want to get into. No, you're good, because I think that's good to clarify, because I didn't want to get into too many side arguments. You gotta be careful when you bring up The Wire. It's not The Wire, but it was It was on par with that level of great shows, because it taught you something. It was entertainment, it was funny even, but it was interesting. There were people out there that had no idea that was going on. By the way, Breaking Bad is loosely based on a real person. Loosely based on a real person. It was actually a teacher who had to get himself together. I think he really had cancer, and he really had to sell meth. He was a chemistry teacher. You know what I'm saying? So but of course it's not literally, but my point is that there were other ways to tell that story, and it feels like it would have been better had they gone that route to tell that story. However, I want to be fair to the producers of this show, and I know you are too. You get the last word on it before we move on to read a book. I want to be fair to the producers of this show, because It could just be the personal. It could be circumstance. Like, yo, I live in Baltimore. You know, just so, or I live in Arundel is what you sound like. And I think we should, when you talk again, I think we should stress the difference between Arundel and Baltimore. Because people think about Baltimore. Baltimore's different than Arundel County and Baltimore County, right? But, you know, I live in Baltimore County. I live in Arundel. And it just so happens that's just how it plays out, that, that they sell to these people. It just is what it is. I don't know. But I agree with you, Clarence. I can see the conflict. I would be conflicted on that as well. I'm going to watch it, though. Go for it.
So real fast, just to wrap it up. So Baltimore City is kind of like in the middle, and then you have like Baltimore County, you have Anne Arundel County that connect. You have a lot of connecting counties that connect the city. So it'd be similar for, you know, like a Montgomery County or like a PG County, how it connects to DC for local area people. But, you know, one of the big parts of the documentary, one of the dealers said, yo, it's the out of towners, yo. Like, it's the out of towners that come in and get to work, either go back home or either they stay here and just continue to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so it was really interesting. What fascinated me was, again, these individuals who have to be very stoic in the streets, but you still saw where they were, like, you saw human beings. So I think that's the silver lining for me in the show, was that you still saw that these individuals who were selling drugs, they were like, yo, yeah, I'm cutting shit up with this, you know, I'm doing this, and like, yo, if it kills them, they bring it back, but that's what they want. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to kill nobody, but that's what, you know what I mean, that's what it is. And I think to a degree in business, that's, if people, if people, that's what they want, you give them what they want, fast food, whatever the case may be. But I think to wrap up and to kind of go into what we're going to be talking about today is, we have to really think about and talk about how we criminalize mental health. And, you know, drug addiction is something that is plaguing all communities, all socioeconomic, you know what I mean, tiers. And I think that, you know, we need to really push back on our drug policy in general in this country. It's not a, you know, one-faced, one-gendered, you know, it's not binary. It's all people, man. You got rich people, poor people, people dealing with alcoholism, all type of stuff. And I think we need to be more cognizant of that. But let's also diversify the conversation, you know, no pun intended, but diversify the conversation about the nuances that go into mental health, how we do criminalize these things, and how we should stop throwing people in jail, and we should actually start building more drug rehabilitation programs. You know what I mean? We should start, you know what I mean, being more cognizant of where people are more vulnerable to fall victim into, you know, these things, and just stop fucking people up, man.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's what's on Clarence's mind this week. Good job, sir. Really like that one. That was a really good one, man. And it goes right into the topic, man. And actually, so Nargis is out today. So she won't be doing Read a Book, but I really I want this segment to be consistent, right? And no one can do it like Nargis, but today I'll be doing Read a Book because I actually had a nice little surprise with y'all. So P, if you can give me a read a motherfucking book.
Let's do it.
All right.
Read a book. Read a book. Read a book.
I like it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey,
with
I love it.
Adam Buttons.
Go ahead. Good enough.
Sponsored by no one.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Yo, that's good.
We're working on that too.
So shout out to my friend Sabrina. She recently gifted me with the autobiography of Gucci Mane. And I know Shanae's gonna love this one. I know Shanae's gonna love this one, man. The autobiography of Gucci Mane, written by Gucci Mane, but written by Neil Martinez Belkin. He's a former editor. I want to say at XXL. He was a former editor at XXL. It was written while Gucci was in jail doing his jail stint. We know what happened with Gucci. We know that Gucci came out of jail a lighter and different person. It was incredible to me, the transformation of Gucci Mane, and how we sort of just accepted the transformation of Gucci Mane. And I won't lie to you, I was sort of skeptical. No, I'm just gonna be real loud, transparent, and I can admit that it was just some judgment from my part, because like there was some, that was like, damn, I'm wary about how people just change their image up. Like Miley Cyrus now, all of a sudden she ain't twerking white girl no more. She's this wholesome girl again, and people just roll with it and just accept it, right? So I was cautious about everything that was going on with Gucci, but she gets me this book. Of course, I've been hearing great things about the book, obviously, but I can chalk that up to people just like Gucci Mane, right? But I was wrong. This book is actually a really good read. right? I have not finished the book completely, but as far as I've gotten into it, I can tell you that I can recommend this book. So I'm just going to point out a few things I noticed in the book that really stood out. Of course, it's his autobiography. Some things you could kind of guess about Gucci's story. You know, he's probably from the streets. You know what he probably did, and you can tell from his music. But a big thing that happened, and this goes to what Clarence was talking about, that his big brother put him on to selling drugs in the 8th grade. From there, he was a drug dealer. He was a big time drug dealer, right? But what I didn't know about Gucci that was really interesting to me, not that I guess I was sleeping on, but Gucci graduated high school with a 3.0 GPA and had a full scholarship to, I think it was called Georgia Perimeter College. He took a year off, decided to go in 2000, but the reason why he got kicked out of school and he eventually got locked up is because he basically scammed the money. You know how you can get money for books and shit like that. He basically scammed the school out of money. I think it was like $1,500 for books, took it and bought coke with it to sell. So he got caught up on that. So this what you hear is a story of a man that was making mistakes, that was super smart though, but making mistakes along the line. Like, hold on, crucial mistakes along the line. You know what I'm saying? That was derailing his life and ruining his life. You know what I'm saying? He got hooked on lean very early, and again that goes on to what we were talking about, like with the drug, addiction and things like that. Being hooked on lean, and he talked about how like that almost killed him. But one thing that really, really, really stood out for me when I read this book, because a lot of that was just like, okay, this is the hood story, and it's dope, but it's the hood story. One thing that really stood out to me, and this is something I deal with, is that Gucci suffers from PTSD.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And he talked about, he has a section where he talks about PTSD, and he talked about how it comes from the heavy drug use and the paranoia that comes from the drug use, but it also comes from the streets, and it comes from the environment. And we always talk about that abnormal normality that black folks grow up in, and for myself and P in particular, P and I are from Southeast DC. We have seen things that you probably should not have seen at a very young age. Never participated in things that you shouldn't participate. Right. But I think that's a big point, that with a Gucci book or a T.I. book or a T.I. movie or whatever, any person that was like a former, that was in the game heavy and then got out of the game, sometimes it's hard to relate to them because he's like, well, I was never a big time drug dealer. I can't relate to this. But when he used the words PTSD, then I could relate, because what he talked about is how even that environment surrounding him, not necessarily things he did, but the things that were around him impacted him to this day. And PTSD is a very real thing. Yep. And it really hammers you, and it's destructive. You know what I mean? So what I like about this book and why I would recommend it is that it's an easy read, right? It's written by Belkin, but it's in Gucci's voice. Word, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's in Gucci's voice, so it's like talking to your mans. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's also, I like that he's super transparent, and I like that he touches on things in a way that isn't like to boast or brag about things, but just to say like, look, this is what happened, and this is the situation I put myself in, and I could have done better. I could have done better, but I didn't, because I took that book money and sold it. I took that opportunity and squashed it. When I was popping back in 2008, I went to jail for dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So how now, and I need to finish it, but I like that. I want to see where his mindset is right now. So I highly recommend. And Nargis, I hope you can stamp this one as well. The autobiography of Gucci Mane, written by Gucci Mane and Neil Martinez.
What's it called?
It's called The Autobiography of Gucci Mane.
No doubt.
Yeah. No, but I feel you just sound like it's called The Autobiography of Gucci Mane. It's written by Gucci and Neil Martinez Belkin. You can get it pretty much anywhere. It is a bestseller. So shouts to Gucci for that one, man. I can respect that. I highly respect what you did, man. So that's our read a book. Read a motherfucker book. Okay, Chris, you were popping out of the seams. I was trying to finish the segment. Go for it, bro.
Nah, I just wanted to say, as soon as you said like he graduated with like the 3.86, all that just popped into my mind was T.I. joint. Big boy, when he's like, I graduated with 3.4.
Oh yeah.
I can't even think of it.
Very good. No, it's okay. Yeah. That's on ATL. Yeah, it's very good. No, but it just shows you that how like there's people out there that listen, man.
Coming of age stories,
that
man.
Type, yeah, and I ain't gonna front like that. That music. When I think about Gucci, I think about Short Bus Shorty. Not because Gucci was on the short bus, but it just shows you how OJ the Juice Man, Gucci, Waka, and Waka is another one that sort of turned himself around and become like, just a totally different person. And it shows you that you can sleep on people, and I'm not immune to that. I've slept on certain people because the content that they were putting out originally was stupid. Let's just keep it real. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, when I listen to old Gucci tracks, I hear anything groundbreaking or thought provoking. You know what I'm saying? But when I read this book, it makes me now I'm interested in what he has going on now.
Right.
Now I want to see now I am interested in what he has to say. You know what I mean?
But you know what though, man? Again, I think that's what it brings, the human element that we tend not to see. Like we see that this person has written a coming of age story of saying this is the shit that this is the stuff that they have encountered.
Yeah.
And they realize like, oh, I could have made better choices.
Right.
Or, now moving forward, I'm not perfect, but I'm going to make better choices. Right. And I think that that's important because it shows the human aspect that a lot of people tend to believe that individuals who are rappers, individuals that are, in the streets or individuals wherever athletes that just have this just complete disconnected realism, right? Because they're just doing something different or something that people who just may go to work every day in 9 to 5 that they can't capture in their mind. And I think that, that's beautiful, man. I was really happy for Gucci when he came home because, I mean, this may sound silly, but it looked like he was breathing better. Right? Like, he always smiled, but and of course, he probably got some work done, but like his smile, he seems
brighter.
He seemed like he's not carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders,
literally and physically, and
physically, right?
Yes,
and I love that he genuinely, genuinely looks happy, and I'm so, I was so happy for him, and I still am. You know what I mean? Like I support him, and I love that he wrote this book, man. I hope it gave some clarity to him.
I'm interested to see if he's going to get into the health piece, which we're about to get into right now. I'm interested to see if he gets into the health piece on that. Because one thing about Gucci was walking around with that gut. We all know this. And Gucci lost a bunch of weight in jail. He came out, all of a sudden the women were tripping off Gucci, man. You know what I mean? And,
Gucci was getting them before, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was getting them for different reasons, for sure.
Right.
But yeah,
Maybe I need to go to jail.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, I had dog. No, when he said that, like 12 jokes just locked and loaded in my brain, but I don't want to wish any of that on Chris. Anyway, let's move on, man. One thing we wanted to talk about today, since it's all fellas, and shouts out to National Women's Day, man. Just to get that out of the way, man. It was a couple of days ago at the recording of this podcast, and I took the time out to shout out. I couldn't get Tasha on there because Tasha, I don't want to put it. I couldn't find you on social, but I tried to shout out like every woman that's ever worked on this show, and I shouted out Danny, who works on the show that she and I do. Because we respect y'all. But since it's all fellas today, it's hard for us to sit and talk about women's issues, right? But one thing we really wanted to do is follow up on something that Clarence brought up last week in his Thought of the Week, which is this Phonte song called Expensive Jeans. And at the time, I hadn't heard the Phonte album. I hadn't listened to the Phonte album. I had no real context of the song you were even talking about. Even the context of the spelling of the track, the name of the track, right? Inexpensive jeans, these expensive jeans, right? And I love that metaphor. We're gonna break the song down. Really, we're just gonna go through we're gonna try to, like, I got the lyrics up. I'm not gonna try to spit them like, cause I'm not a rapper, but we're gonna go through the lyrics because and it's a short song. I didn't even know that. It's almost like a sketch. You know what I mean? But it's real. And so we wanted to take a time to talk about health and men's health because, look, I hope you all get this, ladies, when I say this, but one of the most important things we can do for y'all is stay around and be healthy and be a healthy partner and be
healthy all the way across the board,
around, and start
physically and mentally,
and start spreading that around, right?
Emotion.
So we really want to break down this song by Phonte. Again, it's called Expensive Jeans, and just that title alone, when he said, "I really wish that I could fit in these expensive jeans," that's so real, right? When you get older, I'm just talking about that just from a metaphor. when you get older, that's like one of the challenges for dudes. Like you want to fit into, you can't find jeans that fit you, can't find clothes that fit you. You go into the store, you can't fit shit. The expensive stuff, you start going to big and tall, which is almost like a I would even say it's a what do you call it when you encourage like an addict? What do you call it?
Rehab?
Nah, what do you call a person that
enabler?
An enabler. Thank you. It's almost like an enabler. You know what I'm saying? Like you go there and get these big giant clothes, and it reminded me of that Peyton Manning commercial a few years back where Peyton Manning was supposed to be real, right? And he's walking up to people, and the dude was trying to like get abs. He was like, "Look, man, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, man, you're over 35. You're not gonna get abs. Here's what you could really do. You could probably put on a bigger shirt." It was like he was a killjoy, but like you just kind of fall into that as you get older. Oh well, I got that grown man weight right now. You even find not to blame it on women, but I always tell about some of my homegirls like, yo, y'all like niggas unhealthy. Like you talk about you like a big dude with
right.
Nah, you know what I mean? So
niggas sleep apnea.
Yeah, bro, there's a line.
Right,
So we're gonna get to that one, but I just want to even talk about this, like the name of the song "Expensive Jeans." As soon as you hear it, it's like someone, and we were talking about how he's an older artist. Phonte really speaks to an older audience. Even the choice of beats and music that he uses, it goes to the ear.
Produced this one. Not from Virginia. I mean, he's done like a lot of work. Yeah, with with Pusha T and he's done a lot of great work. So
it's a really grown sound. You know what I mean? So just that title alone. When I finally listened to the song, I was like, yo, we really got to address this as brothers. Coming off the Black Panther challenge that we just did, all of us are really trying to get focused on our health and our weight. We've been talking about this a lot on this show. We making Chris go to a vegan restaurant. You know what I mean? But all jokes aside, we really are just talking about our health. I thought it was really important to talk about this, man. So I want to go through the first line. And again, I can't rap, y'all. I can't rap. All right, I leave the rap in the Phonte, but I really just want to go through the first line and really talk about this. So you say 7 days in a week. Eating steak, every plate is a feast. Watch your weight, no mistake at the least, or else you'll be digging a grave with your teeth.
I ain't gonna front. Y'all wanted to ad lib while you doing that.
You should have. I was on beat. I was on beat a little bit though.
Okay.
I was on beat a little bit.
Sugar Hill gang.
Nah, but think about that. Listen to what he's saying.
Yeah.
This is so real.
It is.
Eat a steak, every plate it's a feast. It's 7 days in a week. Eat a steak, every plate is a feast. Watch your weight, no mistake in the least, or else unless you will too dig a grave with your teeth.
Dig a grave with.
Dig a grave with your teeth.
It's important, right? Yeah. If we talk about even the derivative of soul food,
bars,
right?
Sorry,
where soul food came from, and in actuality, is table scraps that were given to slaves that we made the best of. I mean, even if we were to think about. The things that there's certain things, elements of soul food are made of. Think about things like pig intestines and a lot of pork products and ham and different things that aren't so great, which follows us, right? I had a conversation with one of my friends that told me that certain elements of the way we eat are in our DNA. Which when I first I was like, man, you sound ridiculous, because I was talking to him about eating more healthy, and he was like, no. But then when I started thinking about it, certain things are not, maybe it may not be, we'll come with time and certain things, because we have a higher propensity for having heart disease. We have a higher, and all these things, they're by design for a certain standpoint. So the line where he talks about digging a grave with your teeth, even when you talk about like celebrating, think about a show like Good Times, right? Think about we celebrating good tonight, baby. What's for dinner? Yeah. Oh, we got steak. We got because certain things were like you're doing well. Then it's like a status symbol, and it's all killing you. You know what I'm saying? But you're celebrating it. But in fact, it's killing. He has another line in there when he said when he talks about his father dying, and he said, and we come back and eat the same food that killed you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these things are important, and for us as a community, so many times, a lot of things that are health-based get scoffed upon. We make jokes about people jogging. We make we make fun of other sectors of people for doing things that we need to do. Right. And then once we begin to get into those things, then people get chastised and get talked. Well, you're trying to be white. You're trying to be we're trying to be healthy. So the importance of this song is very important. The importance of a lot of the movements and different things that are happening right now. Even in what we did with the Black Panther Challenge, and Adam and I, we're switching over and doing things more more vegetable based,
vegan-ish,
vegan-ish. You know what I'm saying? You take things at your own pace. But God, that was funny. That was very funny.
Go ahead, man. Go.
Take things at your own pace. But all of that matters, man. So these it's like we've been hammering this point away, but having these elements brought into art and having people, because sometimes you have to spoon feed things to people. Like sometimes if something gives a person an arrival somewhere, sometimes I'm not concerned about the source that it came from or even why someone listened to something.
Yeah.
Like if a rap song or if a movie causes you to feel better about yourself, if it causes you to do something more for yourself, I'm all for it. Like everybody wasn't sitting here to be some type of Rhodes Scholar that we have to learn everything through you know what I'm saying? Through thus saith thou.
Paul hit every point of the segment. I love it. I was like, yo, let me go to the. You hit every point though. It's like there's no more points in this segment. Like you literally hit,
wrap this shit up.
We can tell, and that's it. And Paul hit every. It's like, all right, you gonna hit that point too.
But y'all know what I'm saying.
You know exactly. No. Those are all excellent points. It's just funny because you did hit every point of the segment. But I do want to, because I want to go to the next line. Because again, it's so much in this song. I wish that I could fit in these expensive jeans, a waistline that'll rip the seams, and pharmaceuticals that sit between your heart medicine, cough medicine, blood thinners, and antihistamines.
So that stood out to me because our lovely friend, Shanae of Obvious Tea Company, when she found out that I was taking, it's an antihistamine. I was taking it every day just so I could breathe properly.
Right.
I have horrible sinuses.
Yeah.
She was like, I want you to live, black man.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make something for you specifically for your sinuses.
Right.
And because she's an herbalist, so she handpicked everything. We went through. We sat down. Actually, was over the phone, and she went through a checklist of like what I was allergic to, what I like, what were my taste buds. I mean, she said, "What's your family history?" She went down the whole thing. Now, let's be clear: she's not a doctor. She's not a medical professional. But as a herbalist, she felt like it was her responsibility. She felt it is her responsibility to go through and do these things.
Right.
And she made me a tea specifically that I drink once a day. And it has tremendously helped me.
That's what's
That's
up.
awesome.
So now I don't have to take. It was the Flonase and Allegra D. I was taking that. I was taking that twice a day.
Yeah.
Right.
Just so I could, and it was helping me. However, I didn't realize it had such a harsh implication on your body.
Yeah, the side effects.
I was just like, shit, it's helped me. So whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
But
and all that stuff is a trick bag anyway. But we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. But but she she was like, nah. She said, nah, black man. Like I want your heart, because our heart, which is so, it's double entendre, right? Like our black man's heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's fragile in many different. Well, black people in general, hearts is fragile in many ways. So yeah, man, that line stood out to me specifically.
Yo, there's a line. I just want to go through this next one. Then we go, because here's a line that really, if I can, just really got me. And I'm gonna go through a couple of bars of this one just so we can count it. He say, we got an oceanfront view, but the scope is so limited because young niggas is dying of old nigga shit. Wifey sleeping in the guest room because you snore at night. Like it's 40-year-old is 3/4 life. Our biggest fear was shots and armed robbery, but now the biggest fears is clots and oncology. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. My ex-girlfriend used to go sleep on the couch because I would be snoring and my breathing would stop in my sleep. My ex-girlfriend showed me a video of myself sleeping and all that shit in my sleep. It freaked me the fuck out, all the way out, and I had no idea what to do about it. What was scary about it was I couldn't figure out what to do about it. Like I was like, yo, okay, if I go to the doctor gonna tell me to lose weight, but I thought I didn't know how to lose weight. I knew how to lose weight, but I thought I didn't know how to lose weight because of the beginning of that song. I like steak. I like pizza. I like to reward myself. That's why I say Paul was hitting all the points, because I like to reward myself when I had a hard week. I'm going to order a box of pizza. Fuck, I'm going to sit in the crib and I'm just going to eat pizza. I'm going to Carolina today and I'm going to give me the soul food. I don't care because I work hard and I do this, that, and another. And that part right there was like, yo, I literally woke up and see my girl in another room or sleeping on the couch. Like, yo, you was just loud last night. I just couldn't. I know, baby, I'm sorry, but you were loud. Like, you were snoring, and it was scaring me. And I couldn't wake you up. Well, I will wake you up, and you would wake up for a minute and sleep apnea. So, again, not to be braggadocious, but, we switch this lifestyle up, right? We get veganish. And I'll be transparent with the people, what I do in particular is I eat pretty much plant-based 6 days out of the week. I only eat eggs or fish once a week. So I'll have salmon on Saturday or something when I'm out with the team. We'll have salmon. Last Sunday I went out with my father. He took me to Atlantic seafood. Boy, oh boy. And I got some salmon, rice and veggies. And I'll do that once a week, and I'll eat eggs because I like to have breakfast like on Saturday. Like this morning I had breakfast. I have eggs, and then I'll eat but no cheese, no dairy, no nothing, right? And since then, I was snoring the other night. I felt myself snoring the other night, but my breathing has been better. I feel better. I feel lighter. It's just, it's amazing what food will do. You know what I'm saying? And how food can change your body up. And it reminds me of what you were saying and what you were saying. Like at the end of the day, what I was doing was I was taking blood thinners. I would take, when I would have indigestion, I'd take aspirin or ibuprofen because on the commercial tell you, hey, take ibuprofen. You feel like you're about that if your heart hurts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like doing that type shit. It's incredible. Chris, we're going to get you in there. I just want to go through one more line. I want to go through the song and then we can talk about it. All right, I think it's his arm right there. Okay. Get a sleep app to tell you that you got sleep apnea. He all up in your sheets with a CPAP. Wish that I could fit in these expensive jeans. Or don't like the cuts. It's like the Lord got my order wrong. 3 a.m. stress eating, laying down on it. Now your blood sugar is borderline. This nigga's nice, young. Yeah. Seen him rise. I seen him fall. I seen the dreams of friends and the scenes of war. Inside my mind ain't nothing serene. It's called blackness, the most expensive gene of all. First off, Phonte is nice, buddy. That mean about killing yourself, dig a grave with your teeth, right? Because you're eating too much. And the stress eating thing. So I asked the question on and Chris, I asked the question on Facebook about like, are you getting enough sleep, right? And one thing I noticed about myself is I used to eat in the middle of the night. I still do. That's one thing I'm actually trying to stop. That is the hardest thing to stop. The eating in the middle of the night. Even if I'm eating, like I'm literally getting up and eating veggies and shit and salad or something clean, but I'm still eating out of stress. So I don't know if it's having an effect on my body. I would like to ask a real live health. Maybe your moms could actually help me out with this one, P. Because I don't know the effects of eating people tell you don't eat after 9 and all this and that, Chris. But it's still the mental thing that I want to break up. I'm not really hungry. I'm just bored or I'm stressing and I can't sleep. So I need to do something to make myself feel better. To me, it's almost the same as getting up and shooting heroin and shit because it's like I can't stop myself from doing it. I'm doing it for, it's not because I'm really hungry. It's because I'm just trying to feel better. You know what I'm saying? So the stress eating part is the thing that really got on, that stuck out to me as well. Go ahead for it. All
right, so I started working and I started doing night tours. I would be like, all right, I would just wait till I get home to eat, but it would be so late, and I'd be like, I don't feel like cooking anything, and I'm getting home at like close to 11. I would probably take a nap for like 1 to like get up at 12 or 1, and then just start making myself a meal to eat. And then I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. I kind of need to stop this.
Right.
I need to start taking preventative measures. So now I try to eat beforehand, so when I get done, I can just go home and go straight to sleep, or have something already prepared there. But yeah, it's definitely been affecting me too, and I look forward to losing some weight, more weight than I've already lost. You know, joining in on this, and I have to say, I first when I heard this song, I was like, all right, Adam, I'm gonna go check this joint out. Next thing you know, I ain't gonna lie, after I listened to it once, I'm like, listening to it for about 30th time in a row.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this is just like the other song too that he suggested. What was it? What was her name? Her.
Oh yeah.
Suggested that on your
that's
page.
a good one too. Yeah.
And I was listening to that, like, oh man. So I was like, yo, this is pretty dope.
Yeah. Yo, you know, you gave me an idea, but anyway, yeah, man, I'm gonna go right to you. Just again, it's that line, you know, eating at 3 a.m. and then laying on it, like that's the thing. You eating and you're going right to sleep on it, or you're laying down on it. You know what I'm saying, Clarence? It's just so much in that. It's basically one verse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yo, it's conversation that black men have. Older black men. I'm not gonna say older. I'm gonna say like in a certain age range we just kind of have with ourselves. Like we talk about these things, and maybe they may not go into a depth like how we're talking right now. But it's kind of like, nigga, you know what I mean? Like my hand keeps swelling up, like my blood pressure high. You know what I mean? Just knowing, you know, that you're what's in your family's bloodline. You know, if you know, if your family does struggle from heart disease or if there is anything like that, just knowing that. But yo, one of these lines that also stuck out to me was a dear friend of mine also. It was a hard ass line to me, but she like really unpacked it. Now your blood sugar is borderline Burladone. How you pronounce it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I had to,
So as the show that, you know, Ava DuVernay, is that how you pronounce her name?
Yes.
Okay. Came out with, you know, Queen Sugar. Those the family name is Bordelon.
Yeah.
Right, and they claim was a 800-acre sugarcane farm from inheritance from their dead father. Right,
that nigga's nice, boy.
He's nice as shit.
He's nice. Yeah.
Now your blood sugar is borderline Bordelon.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I mean, it's a witty line, but yeah, like that's the symbolism, right? That's the, you know, if you unpack that, and how they inherited it. They inherited this sugar farm, right? That can be very fruitful, right? Very, very fruitful, money wise, of course. But just I don't know. This shit was just deep. It was dope, and this it stuck out to me. And yeah.
Can I say one more thing, Pete, before I go to you? The young niggas is dying of old nigga shit. So my Largo family has actually been mourning the death of a classmate, and you know, we you know, it's starting to get to that age where and rest in peace Walter Stewart, and I don't know where Walter passed from, but I do want to say rest in peace Walter Stewart. I do want to say that, but we're getting to that age now where I got friends that's dying from heart attacks, bro. I know you know what I'm saying, P. Like dying from heart attacks and shit. Like people are getting sick and dying, and you know, it used to be like he said, you know, sadly enough, again, not to bring like a dark cloud over this show, but sadly enough, I've lost a lot of friends, and that, you know, that we talk about that PTSD thing, that impacts me because, you know, it's a lot of young people that I know dying, but a lot of them have died from accidents. You know, shouts to my friend, the Artorian, you know, she passed away from a car accident. And then, of course, I know a couple of people that were gunned down, right? But now I'm starting to lose friends because they were sick. And now that's the one, that's because the gun thing is like, oh, well, you know, if I just stay out of that environment, you know, I won't fall victim to that. But, like, when you got people that's dying because of, you know, heart disease, cancer, shit like that, that's the ones that start to really, really, really hit you. So I don't know what, you know, I don't even want to keep going on to Walter. I do want to say again, rest in peace, Walter. But like, you know, when you're starting to hear about classmates and such, P, that's gone, or good friends that are gone, that line of young niggas down from old nigga shit is real as real can be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my friend Will's father just died the other day of a heart attack, and he was 47 years old.
Wow,
yeah, that's young.
So like even it's very young. But even a lot of those lines, even the one who was talking about pressure, he's talking about blood pressure. He's talking about the pills, and you know, like you alluded to my mom. She's a health and wellness coach, and she does a thing that's called calls herself the diabetes assassin, because a lot of things that are even that we accept, we don't have to accept. Like type 2 diabetes is something that can be reversed. Like you're born with type 1 diabetes, but type 2 diabetes is a result of your health food choices, your diet, your exercise, and all those things. And it literally can be stopped. But unfortunately, back to the line about like the pills and all those things, like people would rather regulate themselves to taking pills and from pharmaceutical companies whose job it is to continually make profits. So like they're not trying to cure you, trying to keep you, sufficient enough to continually take those drugs.
Right. Which sounds depressing as shit.
But the shit is addictive though.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, but we can learn and we can do better things, which completely brings back to the point of why this song and other things like this is so important. Like I said, so I have a mother, I have parents that has always taught me to think about things. I have a mother who is a health and wellness coach. Now everyone doesn't have that. You understand what I'm saying? So for all of these things, for these examples of art which comes back and reflects our actual life, I use a litmus sometimes on the everyday layman, I guess, when I'm in a barbershop with a lot of my cohorts there. Shout out to my man Nate. And who's never seen Black Panther, but was continually talking about all the damaging and ill effects of Black Panther, including the fact that Dolby Stereo was put there to brainwash us.
Okay.
Just putting that out there.
All right.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is,
Go ahead.
The thought process, right, of all of you guys are going here to look at this movie and it's not doing nothing for Black people. All of those things are a thought process, and it's a syndrome. So even how it correlates. So when I say that this art matters, so if you take a person, like that may have that mindset. Right. You take a few other people that may not be, everyone has their different circles that they walk in. Some people are more of an elevated thought process. Some people may be more simple. You know what I'm saying? So if you can take something to whereas it can make something relatable and someone can understand it and thusly change their lives, it's still all important.
Definitely, man. And again, just because we're gonna get ready to wrap this up, may not be able to get into the Kevin Love thing. But I think we should talk about that at another time, because there's a lot to unpack with that too, with mental health, with the mental health aspect of it. But I think that I like what Phonte hit on in specific, because it talks about just how we eat and how we live in and how we don't think about that, right? And that as Black men, we're doing better with a lot of stuff, right? We're doing better with the conversations we have, being vulnerable, dealing with masculinity, toxic masculinity, all that shit, right? We're doing better with that. I believe that, right? Because the conversations are out there like they've never been before. But we can still always do better. We still always, because, like, again, man, the whole thing is that the Black man died first. Oh, well, and that's just almost like a badge of honor. Like, you work so hard. You work so hard in your life that you just died. You know what I'm saying? And we are in our 30s now. Most of our listener audience, Paul is 40. Most of our listener audience are in their late 20s to 30s, got kids, got stress. Again, when I asked that question yesterday on Facebook, how often do you sleep? Do you get enough sleep? And almost everyone, except for maybe one or two people where I'm choosing to believe you, but like almost everybody was like, no, because sometimes people just like to be contrarians on that joint. Like we could all say, hey, everybody, the sky's blue, and two people gonna go no. You know what I'm saying? Just because, right? But almost everybody said, no, I don't get no sleep at night. No, I get like 3-4 hours of sleep. 5 at the max. Nah, I don't get no sleep, because then they got that, because I got kids, or I got this. We all got to do better, because we all in our 30s, and we all at that age where where folks are falling out. Folks are falling out and going as men on National Women's Month.
Health as well.
One of the best things we could do is be there. Be there for our ladies. Be there for the women in our lives. Not just your girl, not just your daughter, but your sister, your homegirl, whatever. We need to be there, and they don't need to be trying to take care of our old broke down ass when we get into our 50s and 60s, man. We need to be able to live fruitful lives just like they live in, man. So let's work on that. Let's get that together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely it's all important, and we don't have to wait. Like, definitely don't wait. The sooner we get this started, like, know that so many things that we may have considered to be not for us are for us. Health should, like, some things that we consider ridiculous are utterly ridiculous. Some things we should know. Health is for us. Take care of yourself.
And it's okay to struggle with these things, right? It's okay to Yeah, my dad used to smoke cigarettes for a long time, my entire childhood. I mean, but he doesn't now. He broke it down from, doing that, from smoking cigarettes to, well, he was in the military, and it was one of those things was kind of like a, smoke 'em if you got 'em was just kind of like the slogan. Whereas everybody smoked till, they all kind of, whatever. But then he started doing chewless tobacco, right? And then he stopped completely. Like, sometimes it's a process, and sometimes things are just overnight, and it's okay to struggle with these things. Because that shows that you're trying to actually get out of that mindset that you were there before. So if it takes you, a few times, get back on, the horse and go again, man. Try again. You know what I mean? Sometimes you may mess up and want to slip up and eat bacon or whatever, or smoke again. That's okay. Like we all it takes time for these things is what I'm saying. So
lifestyle change.
Yeah, man. Build a network, build people that are doing better. I've been trying to make small little changes here and there. One started with just the antihistamines, right? So don't try to tackle everything at one time. Take on one thing at a time. And let it just kind of build from there. Like, take your time with it.
And be a village for each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hold each other accountable. Say things to each other. Like, look, man, bro, come on, man. You don't need it. And that's going to be annoying, and you're going to seem like a food Nazi and all that, man. But, like, but, I mean, because those are the worst. Food Nazis are the worst. Funny. You know what I mean? But, however, you want to be able to check your people, check on each other, check your friends, make sure that we all are accountable and doing the right thing. We keep talking about building brotherhood. We're going to close out on this. Yeah. We keep talking about building brotherhood and building the brotherhood and doing those things. You know what I'm saying? Boy, that's we often talk about it in the sense of, yeah, man, if you see a black man yelling at a black woman, go knock his ass out. Or you see a young man on the street out there selling dope, grab him up and you know what I mean? But it's always these really extreme grab him up and shake him and tell that young man you got to do better. No, but we it's always these extreme, and I'm not saying don't do those things. Of course, you see somebody bother you, you should help her, yes. But we are talking about small things we could do, man. Going to healthier restaurants with your boys when we get together. Like, why is it that when we get together as men, it's got to be wings and pizza every time? Why?
It doesn't have to be. Yeah.
Why does it have to be? I'm not saying you got to have a veggie platter. But we can figure out a better way.
Feed each other.
But that's what it is, right?
Thank you, Paul, for encouraging me to eat some vegetables.
I did
at the event.
I was happy about that.
Mm-hmm. He does, and I did. I ate a pretty good amount of vegetables too.
He did.
I enjoyed it.
I was proud of you.
What did you wash it down with? Yeah.
Why see, thank you.
I'm just saying,
thank
man.
You, Paul.
We hold each other accountable is what I'm getting at.
I thought we was gonna leave on some positivity.
Some possibilities. Some possibilities. Anyway, no, man. But seriously, we gonna get Chris together. And again, that's one of the small things you could do is just hold each other accountable and just look out for your brother, man. Be a brother to your brother. All right, we gotta get ready to wrap it up, man. Great show today. Good conversation. Let's keep this conversation going, man. Follow us on all that social media, man. MSR Tribe is all our social media. Follow us. Let's keep that conversation going, man. And again, we're going to be doing the live show once a month. We'll have information for the date for the next one. Please check out the audio from our last live show. Is up right now on iTunes Podcast and Google Play. All of that, anywhere where a podcast can be consumed, it is up, man. Check it out. It's a real good thing. And we're going to have the video up for you guys fairly soon, man. And some other announcements to come very, very soon. Man. I mean, like really soon. We're going to talk about that after the show, how we're going to roll this stuff out, man. But it's going to be really easy to listen to the show, man. So until next week, ladies and gentlemen, I got to find my audio track. Sorry. Be great.
Elevate us.
We up out of here.